Welcome back, everybody. We are here with our SEC predictions. We are here, and I believe it's week 5. We already like a quarter of the way through the season right now. And that's crazy to think about. But hey, we got our first game Saturday on the SEC schedule. We got Kentucky going on the road to take on Ole Miss at noon. Ole Miss is a 17-point favorite in this game. This is to me, this game should be a gimme for Ole Miss, but there's a couple of hiccups going on in this game. Kentucky, of course, they've been kind of all over the place this season. You know, you got the huge loss to South Carolina, and then you fight Georgia to the end of the game, and then you come back, and now you're basically throttling Ohio to make up for the fact that the previous 2 games before that were even where they were at. And then now this is your, believe it or not, your first road game of the season. They've been at home for the entire first month of the season until this one. So you're going on the road to Ole Miss. Can you contain Jackson Dart and all of these new weapons that Lane Kiffin has? Can you make this a competitive game again? You just lost your leading tackler, who decided to do what we've seen over the last couple of days, who opted out. You're leading the team in tackles, and now you're opting out because you're talking about you want to get your body right for next season, but that don't make sense and anything like that. We all know the real reason of why you sitting out. But so you lose him. It's going to be interesting from that side. What can you put together to go against this Ole Miss team? Now, when you look at Ole Miss is a team that's been throttling everybody, but who have they played? You've played Furman, you've played Middle Tennessee, you've played at Wake Forest, and then Georgia Southern. So who have you played? You know, this is your first quote unquote real test, and luckily you've got it at home again, where you've only road game you had to go on to was Wake Forest. But how will you look? But in my opinion, I'm gonna make it short. I got Ole Miss winning this one. I just don't think Ole Miss is one of the teams this year, especially with Lane Kiffin at the helm, where you have to be able to score with them. It's not going to be any recipe of, oh, we've locked them down and we've held them to in the teens with scoring like they did Georgia. And a lot of that was Georgia doing that to themselves more so than Kentucky doing that to them. So I don't think they have the firepower to compete with Ole Miss, and I don't think they have the defensive ability to stop Ole Miss. So it's a recipe for disaster when it comes to Kentucky. So I'll take Ole Miss in this one big. Give me another 30-point game, 40-point game against Kentucky.
Yeah, I really don't know what the spread is on this game, but please take the spread when it comes to this game right here. When you think about what this game's going to have in store, man, when I just looked at Jackson Dart's true stats of this season, the guy's in position to really put up big numbers this whole year when you think about the totality of the whole year. And I think Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin at the helm is a team that you have to stop, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think you cannot score with these guys if you let them just go. You got to find a way to slow them down, slow the game down, get them out of rhythm, get them messed up in their head on how they really normally do things. Because once this team, they're a track star team. Once they get going, they're gone. They're a team that can put 21 points up in the first quarter and teams really blinking and game's really over. So I think that aspect of who Ole Miss is this year is just a more in-tune version of themselves of what they were last year. So I think with Lane Kiffin now as a coach, you really have to ask yourself, how long is this going to last? Because it's usually going to fall off the barrel in a while, in a couple of weeks down the road. But this type of game is what Ole Miss is going to dominate in. I don't think Kentucky has the secondary, the linebackers, the defensive front. I don't care what part of their defense you want to point out. I don't think they got anybody on the field that's going to be able to contend with Ole Miss in this game right here. So more about what I love to say is what Ole Miss got to be. Efficient. They got to take care of business. They got to be a master of their craft when it comes to this game right here and get it over with quick. Because I don't care who you are in the SEC, let any SEC team stick around, things get nippy and things get nip and tuck. So early 12 o'clock game for Ole Miss. Get in, get out, handle your business. I got Ole Miss by at least 28 points. I got about 4 touchdowns in this right here just because I think Kentucky's offense isn't nothing really. I think Georgia came in that game a couple weeks ago in a we're not trying to do too much because we don't want to give up too much, but also we found ourselves in the game where we weren't the Georgia Dogs we're supposed to be. I don't think that's going to happen again for Kentucky for a while. They kind of had a moment they can take advantage of, and they dropped the ball. So for me, I think they'll get blown out in this game, and I don't think it's going to be anything close. I think Jackson Dart's really going to make a step in this game early, and just being a dominant quarterback. I got to really be in a top 5 quarterback this year. I really haven't looked at him like that in a long time, but the way they're being efficient this year, especially with Trey Harris on the outside, being a dog at receiver, man, I think he'll put up some big things in this game. I don't think Kentucky's got anything to do to stop it.
No, they really don't. The only thing that can stop Ole Miss right now is Lane Kiffin, and like you said, Drew, that's going to happen in a few weeks. But that's not going to happen this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I think we really find out who Kentucky is more so this weekend in regards to what kind of fight do they actually put up to try to at least slow Ole Miss down a little bit, because every coach in the SEC should know, the big dogs know, all you got to do is just slap Ole Miss in the face real hard when the game starts and they'll fold. Yep. They just ain't played nobody that's going to do that's been able to do that yet. And I don't think Kentucky's that team. But when they get on down the road, they're going to get slapped and they're going to fold. But it's not going to happen this weekend. I got Kentucky relatively big. I'm sorry. I got Ole Miss relatively big. Not a huge blowout. I do think Kentucky's going to keep this game relatively close because Mark Stoops is a good coach in the SEC. He knows how to win big games, and his record at home is very good. But I'm thinking, Ole Miss by 17. Whether that's Ole Miss is going to score 30, 37, 42, 45 points or whatever. And Kentucky just not going to be able to hang, man. But again, I'm waiting on someone to slap Lane Kiffin in the face. Again, it's just not going to be this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the next one, we got the 3:30 game. We got Oklahoma going on the road to Auburn. Oklahoma getting off of whatever kind of game that was that they had against Tennessee last week. You're on the road, and you've already come out and said Brent Venables has announced that Michael Hawkins, the true freshman, is going to be their starter going forward over Jackson Arnold. I think I sent y'all guys the article today saying that Brent Venables saying, Jackson Arnold, his career is going to be amazing and this and that. And you look at that and you basically see the writing on the wall that, hey, he's not going to be the quarterback at Oklahoma anymore this year, and probably not in his career be the quarterback at Oklahoma. He's going to be moving on elsewhere, which sounds a lot familiar about what happened to another 2 quarterbacks at Oklahoma a little while ago. But that's here near not here nor there. Oklahoma on the road at Auburn. They're 2.5 point favorite as of right now. Auburn is in a spiral of they don't know what they want to be. You lose last week to Arkansas, and it's just like you have these ups and downs where you're great one week on offense, then you come home and you just look like you forgot how to play offense, and then the next week you jump right back up. Like I think they went 73 points, 14 points, 45 points, 14 points again. What are you as a team? What are you trying to do? And it's not like your opponents are these big giant opponents that you're doing this up against. It's really just game planning and it's coaching. Not being ready for these moments that you're putting yourselves in. So with that being said, I think Oklahoma's defense, I still think is pretty good. I still think they're defensive. Brent Venables is a defensive coach. You'll walk in here, you'll get the win. I got Oklahoma winning this game against Auburn, but I think it'll have more so to do with Auburn not knowing who they are yet versus Oklahoma is going to be able to just shut them down on defense, and then Oklahoma will get some magic, a couple scores down with their new quarterback, and that'll be that for that game. But give me Oklahoma in this one. Should be an easy game. I don't think any type of drama or anything will unfold in this football game.
Not so fast, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and save the graph for this one right here. I don't think Oklahoma's got an identity. I think, man, they've really got some cakewalks in those first couple games, but I think they showed really a big lack of identity last weekend against Tennessee. And I don't know if that has what to do with Tennessee and how good they really are or just how poor Oklahoma is. But I think if Oklahoma just took last week's loss as just a learning curve and just say, you know what, we got to really get better. We got to improve as a team and really just move forward with what we got. I think that they will be ready to win this game. But with a QB change, I just don't know what's going to come out of that. And I think Auburn is a very, very sneaky team at home. Mm-hmm. If this was in Oklahoma, I would think totally different about this game. But they got to go to Auburn. I don't know if Brent Venables has really seen an atmosphere truly like an SEC atmosphere like that on a Saturday afternoon. If it was on CBS, I'd be really ready for upset rain. But we lost that endorsement when it comes to SEC football. But man, I don't know what Oklahoma's really going to bring to the table this week to really say I'm that dominant team over Auburn. Now, I can say the same exact thing about Auburn. So that's why I say that I don't really know who's going to take this one over the top, but I'm saying that the home team is going to be the winner of this game. And I would have actually said that whether it was reversed in Oklahoma. I think just being at home, having that atmosphere, being ready for the challenge in Auburn, I think they can really handle this game. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I've seen that other quarterback play in that Tennessee game, and I was not impressed by him either. So to have him think that he's going to come over here and run over Auburn is going to be a big question mark for him. I think Auburn's going to come physically prepared for this game, and it's going to be a tough-nosed game. So I think that this is going to be something that's going to come down to a field goal kick, but I got Auburn having an upset by 3 points.
It's funny that we're talking about Oklahoma and Auburn in the same kind of breath because we've got them both. I think all of us have them both in the middle of the pack in the SEC at best, right? Neither team is great by any means. I do have a lot of faith in Oklahoma's defense, and I think Oklahoma's defense ultimately gets them over the top because I saw absolutely nothing from Auburn against Arkansas last week, absolutely nothing. And on top of that, as much as I have been a big fan of Hugh Freeze, I'm not liking what I'm hearing from him in the press. He's playing a lot of the blame game. You know what I'm saying? He's, the media is asking him, well, hey, what happened here? He say, well, if I had a quarterback that didn't throw the ball to the other team, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that as a head coach at the collegiate level. You can't do that as a head coach at the pro level. You know what I'm saying? You're the head coach of the team. It's your job to make sure that you got the right kid on the field to play. You know what I'm saying? What you cannot do is go and blame a kid when it's your scheme, it's your coordinators, it's your everything. You're the one getting paid millions of dollars to get this done, Hugh Freeze, and you're just not getting it done. You want to blame these cats over here? I think he's losing the locker room, and for that reason, I'm out on Auburn in this game in particular. I got Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not going to give too long a spill on this right here, but I don't think it's really about coaching in this game. I think it's about heart and pride. And I think Auburn is going to really have a pride in this game that they really have in these type of games. This is not Vandy coming to Auburn or some weird team coming to Auburn where they really don't get up for it. This is a first-time SEC matchup in the history of this conference with these two teams. And Auburn is a prominent team in the SEC. I can't say they some really – lately they've been bottom of the barrel, but as a name in the conference, they're a dominant name in this conference. People expect things from Auburn. It's just sad that they can't provide those things for people, and that's just, I feel like, who they are. But for this game right here, to me, Auburn usually has one big upset a year. I think this is it. I think it kind of just sets everything to be a neutral standpoint because just as many question marks as Auburn has, Oklahoma's got a lot of question marks as well. So I just think that they're both in a position where we don't know what the hell they're going to do. So I think if there's ever a time for upset Auburn, let's bring it out the bag right now. I mean, we need some more excitement in the sport right now. So let's get upset.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I can't believe I'm defending Auburn, but every day is a new goddamn day.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, moving on to the other 3:30 game, we got A&M at home taking on Arkansas. These are two more middle of the pack SEC teams that I really don't know what they're trying to do. Arkansas tried to win that game. I tried to lose that game last week against Auburn. That is just a debacle of a football game. But I'm gonna make it short. I got A&M winning this one. A&M seems to. I can't even say that they're trying to figure things out because you just had a 6-point win at home over Bowling Green. Credit to Bowling Green. They came in there. They fought. They did everything that they could. But still, A&M supposed to be at a another threshold than that. They made the quarterback switch. They're going with Marcel Reed, who's played fairly okay for them in the last couple of weeks. I just think the biggest problem is with Arkansas. Arkansas has got to get something else going other than Taylor Green running around and trying to make plays every single play. Until they figure out how to establish him as getting a system offense going on with him and not just kind of like just putting him out there, hey, we calling a play, hey, try to make some magic happen every once in a while during the game to win a game for us. I think they'll continue to struggle. They won that game last week not for lack of Auburn trying to lose it, but you got a big couple of weeks right now if you're Arkansas. You got A&M and then you got Tennessee. Both of these are both at home, but I don't see Arkansas pulling this one off. I think A&M still has better talent than Arkansas, and I think that's what's going to carry them to get this win over them this week.
Yeah, I think this win right here, man, it's going to come down to really just, I hope the home team can really just dominate at home. Because I think really when you look at both teams, I think they're both in the identity finding part of their season. They really don't know who they are. But to me, the way Texas A&M made the QB change and still got some success in that, I think they have a better direction of what they want to get done. So I think that's going to come in the forefront in this game right here. Overall, Arkansas, I still just think they in the right direction. Y'all are going in the right way. But I don't think you're there yet when it comes to talent or really true game plan and coaching when it comes to your skill level of coaching. Not the head coach. I think the head coach can really be a dominant head coach, but I think he has to have the right pieces in the right places to get the job done. I just do not see that yet for Arkansas. I really like the way they started the season, but that hasn't been able to be consistent standpoint. I don't see consistency in this game. I think Texas A&M, if they could just stick to the basics, stick to the fundamentals, they got the better overall team to win this game. Stick to that. It's going to be a dog fight. I got really Texas A&M winning by 7. I think it's going to be a late touchdown to get them over the head, or really opposite of that. It could be either one. I think it's going to be a late hold off from them in that aspect of the game. But I think they're going to be up 7 late in the fourth quarter, and I think really just fighting to finish that game off and finish it strong is going to be the key to this game for Texas A&M.
Yeah, y'all know I'm a big Sam Pittman fan as a man, right, and as a coach. Last week, what I saw against Auburn, even though they won the game, it was just so ugly. I'm like, it's a hard game to watch. And, sometimes you play games to where it's just going to be an ugly game, and whoever can play the prettiest, whoever can put the most lipstick on the pig is going to win the game. You know what I'm saying? And that ended up being, Arkansas on the road. I still am not a believer in Texas A&M by any means. And I think, are they ranked? Ain't they ranked?
Yeah, they still ranked.
Right. They ranked. All right. I'm calling the upset. Arkansas is going to find a way to make this game about as messy as it was last week at Auburn, but they're going to make just enough plays in the run game, which is actually probably the most effective piece that they have on offense is their run game. It ain't great, but I'm calling the upset. Not going to give a score, but I'm giving Arkansas the edge in this game because of coaching.
Yeah.
Let's
and
go,
real
Sam.
quick,
Let's get it.
Yeah, and real quick, I forgot this is a rivalry game. I completely forgot. They playing this at an AT&T Stadium. in Dallas. So hey, we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to be a messy one. But hey, moving on to the 4:15 game, we got Texas at home taking on Mississippi State. This is a real quick one. Texas will win this one. They're 39-point favorite in this one. Mississippi State just lost their quarterback for the year. Texas big. No more really needs to be said about it. Arch Manning getting his second career start. Another showcase for the media to go crazy about, oh, should he start the rest of the year, blase, blase. But hey, Texas big over Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I want Texas to stay healthy in this game, stay focused on what you got to get done. Keep Quinn Ewers on the bench for this game. I really don't want to see him out there because I think he is the guy to get them to a national championship. Even though Arch Manning is extremely talented, I don't think he has the experience to really get them where they're trying to go this season. So the experience he's gaining is really good. This is a good chance for him to play an SEC opponent, get some SEC experience. Let him go ahead and get this game out because Texas, you got the win already pretty much in your bag. Just don't go out there and do anything stupid. Don't go out there and get anybody hurt and unnecessary win. Get up early in this game. Get the bench players, get the subs in really early. Keep this thing moving because you got a really big game coming up in the next couple of weeks, even next week. So Texas got a lot of things to focus on, and Mississippi State is not one of them. So let's keep on moving forward. Texas up big.
Yep. Clean up the mistakes, Arch. You know what I'm saying? He threw 2 picks last week. Clean that up. You got a beautiful supporting cast around you. There's no reason in the world why Texas is not completely just murder Mississippi State in this game. I feel bad for Mississippi State, to be honest with you. But yeah, I got Texas big.
All right, and then moving on to our last game, and it is LSU taking on South Alabama. Easy game. Get it over with. Get it done fast. You have got LSU. If you want to do something, you got to stay healthy. You just lost Harold Perkins for the year with an ACL injury. You got to keep these playmakers. You already lost a running back for the year. Another ACL injury. Get this game over with. Take care of business. Work on what you got to work on to move on to the next couple of weeks. But get out of this game healthy. They'll win this one easily. Main point, star. Hell, get the starters out the game. Get the game over with. Get them out. Get the backups in there. Move on to the next week. LSU big on this one.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you. I got LSU in big in this one, but I think there's a lot of important factors for LSU. With having all these injuries, this is the type of game where you got to get the starters out there quick because you really got to see what you got in a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. It's really going to be kind of a showcase on who's really going to step up in these prime positions. I think they might have found their running back with that true freshman they got that's playing really good. So I think that's something that's going to be a big standing point. But on defensive side of the ball, you're going to have to find someone that can try to replace Harold Perkins because he's a true top star in your defense. I thought he was the best player on the field when he got there. So, I mean, since he's been there, so I think that defense is going to really take a hit. But these type of games, just beat up the opponent, get out of there healthy, win big. But you also got some big games coming up in the next couple of weeks. So continue to keep finding your identity. Yeah. I think the Nussmeier-Lacey connection, yes, we know that's your best threat. You don't got to throw him the ball 10 damn times a game no more. Get other people involved. Find another way to get your offense. Find a way to get to me, one of the best tight ends in the country, the ball in positions more where he can really make big time plays throughout the game, not just when you have to have him in the big moments. So I think LSU is really, really trying to figure out who they're going to be this season. It's so important for LSU to learn that to this weekend because this is what LSU does for everybody. They lose early in the season and they try to fight back and then they can't get back. You got everything you want this season still in front of you, but you got to clean up the mistakes. You got to clean up the errors, and you got to stay healthy. So I got LSU big in this one by maybe 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. I got them scoring a lot, but I don't want to just see a Nussmeier-Casey game. I want to see LSU really, really focus on who they have on their roster to see what type of talent they're going to be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, bye week after this, so they get to the bye week. So,
Yep. And I think one thing that Brian Kelly really needs to do is kind of like what Lane Kiffin does is against opponents like South Alabama. This is no disrespect to South Alabama, but you know what I'm saying, you crush them 70-12. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you have to do in these moments. And if it ends up being a 34-14 game, I don't know if Brian Kelly would consider this game to be a success. South Alabama is not going to come in here and just lay down and just let LSU just walk over them. To y'all's point, LSU needs to come in, dominate early, get the starters out, get healthy, and get ready for the back half of the season or the middle part of the season. But I can't sit up here and say that I have full confidence in the fact that South Alabama is not going to keep this close for a quarter. You know what I'm saying? You know, it could be 7-0 LSU at the end of the first quarter, and we're like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Same thing as the Nichols game. The Nichols game,
like the Nichols game, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not sold yet on LSU. Now they're going to win this football game, and I got LSU winning this game, but it's about momentum and how are you going to be dominant enough to scare somebody, right? What are you putting on film? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing here on down the road? Are you giving everything you got? Are you emptying your playbook to beat lesser teams early in the season? You know, these are the kind of things I worry about with LSU. You know what I'm saying? Not like Bama, who's holding things that they can bring things out later. You know, I got LSU with the win, but I got a lot of question marks moving forward. We'll talk about them in the next couple of weeks. We'll get deeper with this, but LSU with the win here, but I got concerns.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I agree. All right, well, hey, thank everybody for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that bell so you get notified when we get these videos. You have live, we got regular videos. We're gonna do sights and sound stuff now. So hey, get on board now. Have some fun with us. Get in the comment section. We love to respond to y'all. We love the engagement. Want to keep it up. But hey, until then, until next time, we'll catch you next week. Deuce.